Hey guys, hope you sat through that. I thought it would be funny, whatever, little humorous to my poor taste in, but it's about time to get onto this thing, finish it off, get this whole series tied up. There's a whole bunch of things that are going to happen here in probably about 3 different videos. I am today I'm going to deal with the wiring here. People have been asking, well, a couple of people anyway, like, you know, how do you wire these things? How do you hook them up? How do you plug into who and who talks to what? And I figure, you know, it ain't nothing but well, a little bit of show and tell, and hey, we'll get you ready to rock and roll. So there are no more questions, at least in that area, and move along from there. But yeah, today we are recording on my new Panasonic G9. We're doing 60 frames per second, 4K, 150 bits. Oh yeah, all maxed out here, at least for internal recording. I'm telling you just in case you were curious, but I'm making a note for me just in case, hey, I wonder when I switched to this or tried that. Well, I just told myself it for future reference. Yeah, so there's that. Anywho, yeah, wiring. We're gonna do some wiring here. I got 30 feet of well, 6 gauge. This is what's otherwise known as a flying lead. In other words, it's non-terminated, and we got white, red, and black there. Those are 6 gauge with a 8 gauge ground, and this is finely stranded stuff. I hope this camera focuses. Please focus. It is very nicely finely stranded stuff. I was much surprised, well, very much to my surprise. It's you know, there's the PVC coating, so it's, you know, nothing special there. Gonna be stiff as a freaking, well, as stiff as anything when it gets cold. But it wasn't a lot. I mean, $112 or something like that I paid for it. I don't know, links always in the description. But yeah, we're gonna get on to putting, you know, that on that, and then we're gonna do some other things here. I have an adapter because this was my easiest, most reasonable option for well, how I'm going to hook up. That was a nice little adapter there. Comes in its own case and has this nice extendable long extension for a dedicated ground. That's well, that's neat. This I don't know if it's going to work, but I got an idea. I got a thought. I'm not going to talk about it because well, it might not work. I'm going to make a video just about this thing right here. It's a whole different kind of a show and tell there. Something that I've looked for and does not seem to exist, so I'm going to make it. And then of course, you know, we're going to do the capacitors on this guy. I can only do this, unfortunately. Well, no, fortunately, it is fortunate. I can only do this kind of stuff really on the weekends right now because, well, my wife works from home. That's the very fortunate thing. Due to the world that is, which is another, actually, is pretty fortunate. For the world it is, it's well, it's better. It's just better. So I got to shut the power off in the house, and she needs it, you know, Monday through Friday. Today is well, Friday, so I can do the wiring and do a little show and tell there. But yeah, before I can, you know, run the house, test these capacitors and whatnot, and I don't want to do it with the house. I'll do the same rinse and repeat, the same exact test as I did when I first well, in my very first video on this thing. I'll do the same thing. Whatever I used there, I think I used a heater and a circular saw. Yeah, that's what I used. I'll do the same thing. We'll know something right away. But then I'm also going to test the house. I want to see if this thing can run my water heater. Because if it can do that, well then, shit. That's all right, and it should, by the numbers. It damn well should. But I've never had heavy enough cable to be able to try that. So now I do. Well, I've had it for a while now. I just got to put part A and part B together, and there we go. So that's That's what we're getting into here. Hopefully this weekend I get them all finished off here and, you know, bang out a couple of videos here, because I've been a little bit on the lazy side. Sorry. I can't help it. We all get that way sometimes, I guess. But all right, enough rambling here, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, moving along here. Hopefully the traffic isn't too loud. Time to yeah, do A and B. Put these guys together. Now, I'm gonna do something a little different. It's typically generally frowned upon in the biz. Yeah, well, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to strip and well, tin these end, otherwise solder them. Hang on, I gotta wait till these fucking dogs shut up. All right, getting back at this now. Where was I? Something unpopular. Yes, I remember. What I'm going to do, I'm going to tin the ends. Reason that I'm going to do that is because, now this is another made in China product, but I just want to show and tell. I just want to prove they can make some half-ass, good-ass stuff. You know, if they put their mind to it, and don't cut literally every freaking corner on the planet. Look at that. Hopefully you can see. See how that clamps down? It's you don't need an eyelet. You don't need one of those goofy ass terminals. It's literally going to clamp down right on, and self-contained the wire 100%. All of them. It does the same thing. I think that's a very well designed plug. I mean, it's as good as it has to be, but you know, this is worth 20 bucks to me. I mean, you see a whole bunch of them online. A whole bunch of them look identical to this, but they're different in here. I bought this one specifically because of the way it clamps down onto the wire. And yeah, that's good job, China. I mean, seriously, I give credit where credit is due. But anywho, because that clamping force, it's just going to smush the wire. That is why I'm going to tin the ends, so it doesn't just smush out. It will stay round, or relatively anyway, and you know, hold its shape and hold tight. I use silver bearing solder. I know it's got no label on it, but trust me, that's what it is. And you know, a little dab will do you. Hold the wire in shape, and there we go. So yeah, I'm not going to you know, bore you to death. I'm going to hopefully set you up on a time lapse to blow through that and go from there. But I'm going to use my handy dandy, well, this guy. If you haven't seen the video for this, the link is there. This is an awesome tool, my butane beauty here. Yeah, I love this thing. This has been one of my better investments within the past 2 years for sure. It wasn't expensive, but link is up there. Anyway, yeah, enough talking here. I mean, you need a couple of tools to take it apart and a couple of tools to put it together, and presto, it's going to be kitchen magic. I'm going to try a time lapse with this. It'll be my first one. Hopefully it turns out. Maybe, hopefully. Anywho, I'm going to set up here and we're going to get into it. I decided to do the time-lapse thing. I was just going to grab my old trusty standby, my DJI Osmo Action, because, man, there ain't nothing to do with that. You just set it and forget it. It just works. This camera, however, yeah, I got some things I gotta learn. Yeah, I didn't want to dick around with that right now. I wanted this done. And yeah, I do believe we got it. Nicely tinned, you know. Now, some folks out there, I know. Some folks out there are gonna get all uppity about it. You know, you can't tin your ends with electricity and all that jazz. Well, bullshit. Okay. Here, let me tell you what the world seems to be, well, not quite understanding. If you were to take, say, this stuff is good for 50 amps. If you were to take this 8-gauge cable and solder it end to end to physically make a connection with solder, if it's a shitty connection, it's going to get hot. And when it gets hot, well, guess what? Solder melts with heat, right? So it will break down. It could break down. That is not what I'm doing. That is not at all what I am doing. I am using silver bearing solder, which will only increase its potential conductivity, not decrease it. I'm not using fucking lead. This is silver. It's actual literal fucking silver in my solder. Hence the term silver bearing solder. But some folks, when you twist the wires together and then you solder them, you've seen that kind of shit ass connection. Some folks have soldered them, and then, well, they get hot as well, and sometimes, you know, yeah, well, solder melts, and then you get a hot spot, and then yeah, potential fire and all that jazz. That's why, really, some folks, some of them are going to tell you, you can't solder this shit. Well, bullshit. Yes, you can. It's perfectly safe, perfectly fucking fine. As long as you got a good connection, you ain't never going to have a problem. But all I'm doing, I need this to be more solid than what it was. I don't want it smushing out when I go and I start clamping down on these screws. Now, on the flip side of that, same people that are gonna, you know, pitch a bitch about soldering this are the same people that don't quite remember or don't remember hearing about otherwise how wire nuts explode. Electrical wire nuts explode sometimes because, well, the current. They can't handle the current, and if they're the only thing making a good connection, they gotta take all of that current, all of that amperage, and well, they can't, and sometimes they literally fucking explode. This is solder. This ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm telling you, it's perfectly good, perfectly safe, and way overkill. You people probably won't care about doing this. You definitely don't need to do this. It's just that I'm a little bit different. I made with a different kind of cookie cutter, and it ain't nothing but a little bit of time for me. I have the materials, I have the capabilities, so why not go the extra step? This I can crank down all day long. I mean, it's just going to get tight. Whereas if it was just left as, you know, open stranded wire, well, yeah, you clamp down on it, it's going to smush out. Not now. That's why I did it. That's the only reason that I did it. Well, mostly the only reason I did it is because I'm me. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you real quick. That's why I did time lapse. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time here because most of you folks probably won't do it. And it's fine. It's fine. Any which way you do it, it's going to be fine. Trust me. Now, some of you might have the point of curiosity here. How do you know which terminal is which? Well, I'll tell you how. There is an industry standard for this, and I'm going to put it there. You're looking at it right now. So that's one way of doing it. Here's another. You don't. You don't. It doesn't matter. This is 120 volts right here, black. White is neutral. Red is another 120 volts. Add 120, 120. That's how you get your 240. Green is ground. There's an easy way to at least match the plug that you already have. And to do that, you just need a DVOM, a multimeter. Put it on your, put it on your continuity setting, your resistance setting. Oh man, baby screens. I hate them. I think you can see that. So, like, this terminal here is going to be one of these wires. Is it that one? Oh, it's that one. So there you go. 0. Well, not 0, but 0.2 ohms of resistance. 0.2. That's 0.2 of a frickin' ohm. I think you can see that. Focus over here, Penny. Penny, over here. There you go. There you go. So it's nothing. It's as good can get right there. So that, I mean, that's how you just flip this upside down, and okay, that wire is this terminal. You just match them up. You know, it's that dirt simple. Or use the image that I already gave to you. But if you're out and about and you don't know and you really want to get fussy about it, well, this is one easy way to well, at least duplicate what the factory end is. Now, the reason I had to use, or the reason I went with one of these, a flying lead, an open-ended cable, nobody makes what I need to do what I need to do. And I know that I'm not the only one doing this. There's no freaking way in hell. But nobody makes a cable for it. So you got to make it yourself. Now, you can get more expensive cable for sure. You can. God, did you hear that? You can spend some money on cable. There's no need for it. This is 6 gauge primary and 8 gauge ground. I mean, you're done. You are so done right there. This was you know, it would do what I needed it to do without, you know, wasting a bunch of money. I didn't buy something that had a pre-made end that I already knew I was going to have to hack off or adapt or, you know, do some other goofy shit. Nah, I just buy it this way, make it your damn self. It gripes my ass a little bit that nobody makes this stuff, but, well, I mean, what are you going to do? It's, you know, water under the bridge and spilt milk and all that jazz, and you just shut up and you do it yourself, because that's the only way things get done. Well, goddamn, I was so ready to wrap this up. I was going to put this little eyelet on and, yeah, just blow through that real friggin' quick. Oh, here. Look at that crap. I mean, it just moved in. It's not a lot, it's just a freaking cloud, but it's pissing on me enough to where I don't want all my stuff out. And oh man, all I wanted to do was the simplest thing today. Anywho, that's where I'm at right now. Now that well, the sky is falling on me again. God damn it! I'm just annoyed now, so I'm gonna wrap it up for the day, and tomorrow's another one. Finish it off then tomorrow. Today is a new day. Not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful blue, nice sunny, 71 degrees, and I just figured what I'd do real quick. I don't gotta, you know, there ain't much to show and tell here. Just had to finish up the little bit of soldering and connections, and there we go. Figured I'd just show you real quick what yeah, what we got going on here before I put it all back together. And yeah. Now, like I said before, probably too many times by now, yeah, knowing me, you don't have to do any of this. You don't got to get all fussy with soldering. It's not going to make any difference electrically. It makes a slight difference mechanically because, well, like, you know, the reason I did it, so the wire doesn't smush out. You know, gives nice and round. You know, those screws are bit down. They're not going to need any adjustment or anything like that over time. And I'm sure some of you guys that have made your own connectors, you've seen it happen. This stuff will loosen up over time. It just does. This helps prevent, you know, that from happening too. So mechanically it makes a slight difference, but whatever, as long as you make a good connection, it's going to work fine for you. And that's all you need to know, and that's all you got to do. And hey, all right, I got a couple things I'm going to show you in the generator yet, and then I'm going to show you how I'm connecting to my house, and that's going to be this video. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now and start yeah, move along here. A little while ago, a guy in the comments asked about which receptacle here should you use to you know, backfeed with. The answer is yes. Any of them, honestly, because they're all one and the same. They're all, you know, part of the same field windings in the generator. They're all physically tied together. This is your 50 amp, it's your 30 amp, and there's your two 20 amps. They're all one leg or the other of the 50, and you know, same here. It's all part of the same. It's all physically tied together, so it doesn't matter. Whatever works best for you. I mean, that is the only real correct answer. You know, and yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link to. Well, I'm about to talk about it. I made cables up for making this job, you know, quick and simple. Before I had the big heavy cable here, my 30-footer. You know, I was just backfeeding it with regular, you know, extension cords. I'm going to show you what I made to make that happen real quick. And this is the general idea. I just made up two, you know, regular 120 volt, well, circuits here. Just short little, framing, short little, whatever, adapters is what they are, because they got two male ends on them. It's 12 gauge cable. It's the same stuff that's in your wall. I mean, it's 12 too. So it's, you know, at least as good as what's in your wall. And actually it's better because this is outdoor cable. So there. Yeah. It was what I could do at the time. You know, I needed the thing, I needed it quick, and I wasn't going to run, you know, 3 or 4 different extension cords when I could just use this. I could still light up both sides of my breaker panel, and I'll put that video link to it right there. So check it out, you know, after you finish watching this one. But I mean, that's one way you can do it, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. It worked fine. It's perfectly safe. You know, don't overload the circuits. You know, if you're plugged into a 20 amp circuit here and you're hooked into a 20 amp circuit in your house, well, there you go. That's your limit. So don't exceed it and you'll be fine. You know, same with all this stuff. It's you know, there ain't nothing more to her than that. I got this nifty little contraption here, which is that 30 amp focus, the 30 amp socket that splits it into two of these guys. Yeah, these are 125 volts connectors, but they're either or, either one. I thought, you know, that it just frees up some options in case I take this out and about. You know, my God, noise around here. That was a motorcycle, believe it or not. Thing was loud. Anyway, in case I'm out and about somewhere in a field and in the woods, and you know, I need to light up some more stuff, power some more stuff, well, that gives me a couple of additional receptacles in case, you know, just in case. Now, what I'm going to do, and the whole thing about this wiring this cable up was so that, yeah, this is my main guy. This is how I'm going to backfeed my house, and I'm going to backfeed my kitchen stove, my electric kitchen stove. It's the easiest thing for me to do, the least amount of muss and fuss. And to do it, though, I need I need an adapter. So I'm going to go from that to that, and yeah, I think you can see what that does. You know, put part A and B together, and presto, kitchen magic. And then literally, that's how I'm going to do it. And that will light up my entire breaker panel. I don't got to dick around with any more cords than just that. And being, you know, the 6 gauge cable and whatnot, yeah, it should be plenty good to run my water heater. I don't need my electric stove. I do like 99% of my cooking outdoors on the grill. Yeah, occasionally, once in a while, I do fire up the stove, but very infrequently. So I do need my water heater though. And that's going to be a damn good test. See what this thing does when I turn my water heater on. I expect it to handle it because, you know, by the numbers, it should not be a problem. But so yeah, that's how I'm doing it. And you've got options. You can do it any which way you want. You know, it's the world is your oyster. As long as you don't overload any one circuit, you know, any which one of them is going to work for you. So. That is pretty much that, I think. Yeah, that should be the end of this. I hope I've answered all the questions, and hope I didn't ramble too much. I know I got a problem with it. I got a fucking motor mouth sometimes, but yeah, can't help it. Anywho, that's that, and if you got any questions, just leave them in the comment section. I'll try to answer as best I can. Next, we're going to get on to some other things. I'm going to do the capacitor bank on this, and yeah, this guy. This is going to be fun. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. So wait until it's done. It's one of my better ideas, I think. If it works, of course. Anywho, all right, that's that. And hey, thanks for hanging out, guys, and cheers. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz. So all right, thanks. Cheers. Bye.